Syria has a very rich democratic history in the 40s and in the 50s. Syria get independent from the French mandate in 1946. After that, Syria has a very democratic institutions. You have free and fair elections. We have at that time more than 274 newspapers and magazines. Very pluralistic society and political life. Many political parties, from the lefts to the rights to the center, liberals, Islamists, leftists, nationalists, and all of that, they exist and they have seats in the parliament. More than that, Syria in 1951, they adopt the first constitution in the whole region, which was very progressive constitution, which gave the right to the women to vote and participate before many Europeans that to do that. And that's give you a sense how the progress and how the Syrian people very civilized, open-minded, and liberal. What happened, all of this rich history swept away when the Assad dynasty captured the power in 1970. Of course, before that, the Ba'ath Party, who's now the ruling party, take the power in 1963. But from 1963 until 1970, still we have some little room for freedom, basic rights, and all of that. When Hafez Assad came into power in 1970, he tried to build the whole state according to his personality. This is why he was able, after 30 years from governing Syria, to inherit the whole state to his son. Even as we are a republic, first republic in the Middle East region, we don't have tradition actually for the father to deliver the power to his son. That's happened in North Korea. But then after that to happen in Syria, it was a shock for the Syrians in 2000. But he was succeed because he built in all the state institutions relying heavily on the security forces. If you need to get a register in the university, you have to get permission from the security forces. In 1998, I started to write to a leading Arabic newspaper called Al Hayat. This established in London and distributed to the whole Arabic countries. I wrote an article about the Arabic human rights organizations. This organization established in 1983, where the first conference was in Limassol in Cyprus. I wrote the article and I sent it by mail. At that time, Syria has no internet, has no fax. And the security, they opened the letter because they control the mail. And if they have any suspicious address, as they said to me in the interrogation of the security, they have the right to open the letter. And they start questioning me about what I wrote in the article. This is a way that's how the Assad security forces control the country, censored. Not only at that time I wasn't dissident, I wasn't any human rights activist, I was just a student in the university, the third year in my university. And even that, they interrogate me, they take me to the security, and this is the real life for all the Syrians. It became like the novel of George Orwell, 1984, about the Big Brother. Exactly, we are living in Orwellian state under the Hafez Assad and his son Bashar Assad. This is why when the revolution started, everyone was hoping that this revolution will put an end for the Assad dynasty, the Assad family, after more 40 years of living in fear and silence. When the son started, the Syrians hoped that he will be different. He's not from his father's age. He doesn't belong to the military. He's a physician, an eye doctor, and hope that he will make a change. But in less than a year, actually, they discovered that all of these lies. Even that he spent years in London studying there. But then it was actually the genes of the family of the Assad dynasty much more stronger than we thought. These genes, which it has, we call it as the killing genes. His father killed more than 25,000 in the rebellion in Hama, and the strike there. And now his son, he is killing more and more during the Syrian uprising. Until now, more than 35,000 has been killed. And maybe the number is increasing day by day. And he makes the destruction, bombarding the city of Homs, the city of Aleppo, Damascus, and all of that. We don't see any differences between the father and the son.